Good evening and welcome to another episode of Pamtastic on Purpose, where here, messy is the new perfect. Thank you for joining and listening if you're here. I appreciate you. And tonight, I am interviewing my husband, Eric Hunsinger. We're going to talk about trust. What we decided. Um, the reason I chose trust as something for us to talk about, I'm going to just ask him questions and I figure he'll answer and I'll chime in and answer kind of as well. But mainly I'm just gonna kind of interview him and we're gonna see how it goes. Again, nothing strict here. But I chose trust because I just really feel as if it is a really valuable uh, overlooked currency that we don't invest enough of in ourselves and each other. And it's a really important ingredient for anything, relationships, anything that you're trying to build or create. It all requires trust, faith, anything that is that we want or desire really is going to involve trusting that we deserve it in the first place. So anyway, that's what we decided to talk about tonight. So I am just gonna start by I'm just gonna kind of let Eric kind of introduce himself and say hi, and then we'll get right into it. I'm just gonna ask him questions, and like I said, we'll see how it goes.
Sweet. Hello, everybody. I'm Eric.
Hi Eric, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Uh, can I say a little something on that trust thing?
Yes,
It-
please.
It's it's odd with trust because as humans, we're like, oh, we go on the internet and we put our card number and our numbers and all our private numbers and we put them in there, and then we go to say a car dealership, and we put our trust in them, and we're like, oh, they're reputable. You can trust them. They're trusted. And and we put all this trust into these things that aren't even connected to us or our person.
Pilot.
Right, right. We trust the pilot. Right, all these people we don't know, you know, and then we can't trust ourselves or our partner.
Mm.
It's just when she was introducing herself, it just kind of popped in my head, and I'm like, it's crazy how many things outside of us
We give trust
that
to.
we give trust
Yeah.
to. You know, we trust Verizon and
Mm.
all these companies, not to plug, but we trust them to honor their contracts or whatever, and many times
They don't.
there's always some loophole where they don't. you know
Mm. Oh yeah, and well, some of that is like with that's not really trust. That's more like we don't have a choice. But with the other things that you were saying, absolutely, like
right,
just trusting, using the phone,
right, makes
you
sense,
know.
right, trusting that things are always on the up and up, you know and that's all, just a little thought there, a little
Yeah,
food for thought, I guess.
yeah, how we can give it away to
Right.
others so easily
So
and
why
not even realize.
Right. Why can't we
A
trust
bus driver,
ourselves? Why
really.
can't we trust ourselves when we get a little spark and we're like, oh yeah, definitely, I'm gonna go do that, whatever. Oh, 200 bucks. So what?
Yeah.
You can find a way to spend 200. You can justify a car you can't afford because the payments are $500, and it's easy, even though you're gonna pay triple for the car at the end of the day. But you can't justify dropping 200 bucks to do something that brings you joy and maybe you get a lesson out of.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. Well, it's easier to
Hmm.
trust others than it is ourselves,
Hmm.
right? But
Right.
anyway, we're gonna get into it. So I'm just gonna start out with, like I said, I'm just gonna ask Eric a question, and he's gonna answer, and we'll go from there. So the first question, babe, is what does trust mean to you in a relationship?
Well, many things. Um, you know, you trust that if you give your feelings away and and you share your love or whatever it is in a relationship, you trust that something is going to reciprocate back. So part of trust, I guess, is like the circle of
But what does it mean to you?
give and take. But what it means to me is I
If someone was
I'm
like,
not afraid that you're going to do anything nefarious to me on purpose. Now, things happen sometimes accidentally or unintentionally, and you can correct those things, but there's also a manner of behaving in that.
okay, so would you say that ultimately is about feeling safe
Yeah, safe, secure, for
with the other
sure.
partner?
Right, with the other partner. And, a lot of times, like with me, I'm really good at just jumping right in and putting a lot of trust until you show me not. But I've learned now over time to, dial that back a bit. Not everybody's worth the 100% bang of trust. But I try to give
Or is it,
credit until proven otherwise.
right? Because at the end of the day, if somebody we love or somebody that we put trust in, if they let us down or show disloyalty or whatever and hurt us, right? Are we really mad at them, or are we mad at ourselves for trusting them, right?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
so then that falls back into like distrusting in ourselves,
Yes,
and
yes.
then the guards go up, right? So
Right.
so it's about just that, you it's like touching the stove. You get burned, and you're like, okay, and then you're just
Right.
more cautious. But overall,
Absolutely.
it's about like knowing that you can be 100% you. Would you
Yep.
say?
Yeah, absolutely. Where you're not afraid to say, "Oh yeah, when I was
Even
when
if
I
it's
was a
ugly.
little kid, when I was 4 or whatever, my mom said I wet the bed. That wasn't me per se, but people should be, oh, I was a nose picker, whatever, just being honest about the tiniest little things that really don't matter builds more trust than,
Right, because
all the
that's
crap.
authentic, right? It's like,
Right,
oh,
exactly.
here's my
It's a
messy, here's
truth
my
about
naked.
me that, you know, I was child, it's still a truth about me, but a lot of people harbor, you know, oh, oh, you nose picker or what, you hear all these
Aunt
things. You're
Sally.
digging for gold. Yeah, Aunt Sally with 3 teeth blowing her cigarette in your face, talking about, oh my gosh, how dare you?
Yeah,
So, there's a lot to it.
yeah. All right, so we'll move on to the next question. So I'll shed a little light. I feel like I want to just say kind of what it means to me. Trust to me, a number one is about how I'm going to be able to express this full spectrum of my emotional wave. Uh, I know that I am a very expressive being, specifically in the emotions area, based on who I am, my design. And again, like, I don't like to blame or go, oh, this is who I am. And I don't give too much power to like identity labels. And I've learned um, myself at deep levels, um, and still have more learning to do. Uh, but overall, it's really about like who's gonna run away, like, or stay, like that. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but ultimately, it's like I have to know that I can be fully the full spectrum of me, and it's safe to do that. Again, so ultimately, I think it just boils down to safety.
Yeah,
But again, this sounds so cliche to say, oh, safe. Like, safe can be so many things to so many people. I'm
right.
just trying to put a personal, that's my personal thing. One of my biggest wounds was, being abandoned or feeling abandoned, or, that wound of separation at large. Like, I don't really see any person outside of myself as separate. And I also know I'm an individual. Like, but that's a whole nother podcast. Anyway, I just think it's about really knowing that you can be all of you, even in the ugly, and knowing that like that's okay, and they're gonna hold you through it, or maybe they won't, and you're still gonna be able to get through it at the end of the day, and it's safe. Like, they're not gonna just be like, fuck it, I'm done, and run away. I'm a fighter. I fight for the goodness in myself, and I demand that in my relationships. And I'm a I'm a lot, and I honor a lot in others, you know, and I also honor boundaries, and I have boundaries myself, and I've learned this all through life experience, my relationships, all of the, you know, things that I have gained education and and certifications and modalities. Without trust, it's really hard to do anything. And it really isn't about trusting the other person. It's really about trusting ourselves to be able to do what I just said, like be the full spectrum of myself, but not need to like, I have to learn also how to do that and know that there may be conflict that comes with it and be able to face that head on too. Like, it's really about trusting myself. The more I trust myself, the more I can trust my partner, you know, my husband. The more I trust myself, the more I can trust the universe. The more I trust myself, the more I can trust friends. The more I trust myself, right? Like everything is about, it starts with us. But it's also important to feel safe. You cannot have trust without safety in any relationship.
Absolutely.
So anyway, all right. How has trust evolved in our relationship?
A lot. Many, many ways.
um,
You know, early on, it was all fun and good time and party, and then and there's plenty of trust. We trusted each other fully with everything, right out, as far as it goes. Just being ourselves. I mean, it's hard to not be exactly who you are when you're drunk either. So that's helpful to, show some truth of you. But you do still hide things. It's but over the
not
years,
that we're like drunks. Like, don't
right?
make them
I'm
think we're
not right.
drunks.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
like
saying, but we didn't have kids. We're playing music. We're out.
we
We're
didn't have
we're
kids
doing
for five
gigs.
months of our relationship. I don't know what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
you know.
But no, like I get what
But
you're
as
saying though. I
you
get what
know,
you're saying.
as your kids grow and you have, some people have a lot of people that can, babysit or whatever. But we prefer to spend our time with it. Like if I, why would I have the kids and then just give them to somebody else to raise, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, let's stay on
So,
track here.
so anyway,
How do we handle moments when trust? Or no, yeah, is that where we are? No. How has trust evolved in our
right.
relationship?
So anyway, as the years go by, you encounter different things, and trust is gained and lost here and there. I've never really lost any trust um, in my wife as far as relationship or things like that, but I did struggle myself with um, insecurity, which led to, I guess, distrust,
Distrust.
you know. And I didn't realize that the insecurity was turning into, it would turn into outward anger,
Resentment.
resentment,
Inward resentment.
inward resentment. Even like I'd be even mad at myself for having, for being jealous or whatever. So, but over the years we were just honest with each other. So the more honest we've been with each other about how we feel, the more trust has grown. That's it. It's just, I mean, I
Can
guess right along with the security and being feeling safe. Plus, facing things that were causing these blocks has helped build trust.
so what area for you in the dynamic of our relationship did would you say that you've struggled with trust the most? Infidelity, worried about other people, like what area is it? Like I know my area where we've,
Mhm.
you know, in which I've had
No,
trust
mostly it
issues.
was mostly with like maybe finance or purchase. Like for instance, and I'm not trying to, make it an issue. I'm just saying like, oh, we found out we're gonna have a baby. So we decided, okay, we're gonna get a vehicle. She had this, sporty little Honda two door. So we get this SUV. She's like, I want it. There was no. She just wanted it, so we got it, and I enabled getting it. I'm not blaming anybody on this case because I'm ready to go. Ooh, okay, whatever you need. Um, so, but after getting it, you know, and I didn't even realize this until right now, talking like this is coming out right now. After getting it and she not wanting it, I had resentment inside. Like, I'm like, oh, well, we've just spent this money on this vehicle and you don't even want the damn thing. And I don't really want it because it's not the kind of car I would have picked, blah, blah, blah. But I never outward expressed that. And that probably started, or we'll just say did, I'm not going to probably anything, a series of when things like that happen. One time the electric company comes by and they're like, hey, buy this thing. And we almost buy this thing. And I'm like, wait a tick, and then I start asking some different questions and things change, so like over time, those little things made me go, oh, and then it led to also her feeling some kind of guilt or whatever when these things would happen, you know, because she could feel my energy, not because I said anything, but she knows, she just feels it. So, um,
So where did you struggle with trust with me? In our like in with us, where would you say it was the
just
most
mostly
challenging?
like that,
In
mostly
finance.
finance, right?
Okay.
And
And that's it.
right, and that's it. And
Okay.
I'm always a yes man, so it's like
So
you can't see me nodding over here.
do you hear in what you're saying how you are, maybe if you would have spoken up initially
Right,
and said something,
absolutely.
it wouldn't have evolved and
And that,
escalated, and
mhm.
then that story became the story every time. So what happened,
Exactly.
right? Like what you don't change,
Right,
we resist persists.
right,
So it's like
exactly.
the story just kept getting greater and greater, and then it
Right,
became the reality.
right. And until working with Pam Tastic over here, um, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. I had a pretty good grip up until a certain point in my life, and then somewhere that jealousy or anger started to kick in, that insecurity, that mother wound and needing more and not getting it when I was a child and things like that were just kind of built up, and you don't even realize, and people are so afraid to talk about it, so you don't even think, you don't go, oh, that's my problem. And I always get off topic, and Pam is telling me right now by tapping on the notebook.
Okay,
She's trying to be
so
discreet, but I don't allow that.
so so messy, right? So ultimately, in the finance department, not
Hmm.
only did you feel like you couldn't trust me, but also because you couldn't trust
I can't
yourself,
trust myself. I'm terrible with money.
right?
Right. I'm getting a lot
But
better,
again,
but
not to like put it back on you,
right. But that's the facts.
but also like where you were kind of scared. There's a little fear in there to
Oh yeah.
approach me and have the conflict
Oh,
at
absolutely.
large.
I
Like that's why
definitely,
you
I
held it
was
in.
a wicked avoider, big time. Like, oh, I mean, uh, because the guilt of letting her down sometimes is bad for me,
And that was that me? Did I make you feel
and
that way, or was
not
that story you
never
created?
ever. That's something that I absolutely created myself, because every single time I have had to finally let it out because something it got too far or whatever, she would handle it like a champ. And yes, there'd be emotions involved in the beginning, but if I was able to handle the emotions better, they wouldn't ever have escalated.
Mirrors.
But on the other side of that, they could have been avoided by me simply not being a coward about what I was feeling or the situation that was going on. Um, again, it's not because I was afraid to hurt her. I was afraid to tell her because I didn't want to feel like I let her down.
Mm. All right, so that moves us right into. I'm just going to move to this next question because it's kind of right along with that. I do want to say, I had the same trust issues. It was in the area of finance. Eric would tell little white lies, and he'd go, "Okay, this is good with this," and he'd move money around, and he'd do this, all this, everything's good, 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 everything. He'd tell me everything's good, and then like behind the scenes, there was stuff going on that he would not tell me because he didn't want to upset me or make me worry, which in turn made my intuition fucking jacked, right? Because when I fucking know something and my intuition is like, no, you're fucking lying, you're not telling me the truth, and he's like, no, 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 what's that doing? It's fucking with my intuition, right? So where I didn't trust him came with money, but also came with my emotions and my intuition because he made me. I allowed him to make me question my own intuition, especially when he would tell me the little white lies, even when my intuition was like, nope, nope. He would cover it up with more and he would bury himself deeper unintentionally just to avoid the fucking conflict.
Right.
Right? Which actually in turn only did what?
Just got worse,
So anyway, obviously.
And again, here's what we forget. It's not the one big blow up that caused the problem. It's the tiny little yes and no's in between. And the little white lies and the little, oh well, it's only $3 or whatever. It's all the little tiny things that make the big lie.
Right, but why? Because my intuition. Because every time you're messing with my intuition.
Well, yeah,
It's like
I'm just saying in general for people out there in the world, remember to it's the little things that really count. So
I know.
you can make these things better.
I'm just trying to reiterate because of our bodies.
Right.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like
right.
That's
Same
why
with
the little
me.
things matter because the little things build up and we store it where?
Right. And everywhere
in our body.
Everywhere in us.
Our body
guts, our body,
keeps
our heart.
score. So anyway, all right, let's I feel like we're veering off. So let's circle back. So communication. What role does communication play in building trust? Which is basically what we just talked about, right?
Right. Absolutely. Well, there are times where there's complete communication breakdown, and there's times where we can communicate amazing.
No, that's not the question. What role does communication
It
play
plays a big
in
role.
building trust?
It plays a big role because I'm thinking, okay, see right here, I'm thinking I'm on the right path. Boom. Nah, not that it. Back to the question.
So
maybe I'm avoiding there.
Maybe.
What was the question again?
What role does communication play in building trust? So it's like trust without trust, not much is possible.
Right.
Well, without communication, trust is completely
it's
impossible.
Right? Which goes back to the first part where I'm like, it's just about being honest and open, and again, like the finance thing, real simple, babe. I'm a dumbass. I messed up a little bit.
No.
Here's the problem.
You don't have to insult yourself.
No, I don't have to insult myself. But hey, all right. Hey, I biffed this deal. Whatever. I made this mistake with the finance, or I made this decision without you, and it's not working out well.
Right.
And so on and so on. Okay. If I say that, then of course we can build the trust in this with the communication, which, like I said, is the whole premise since we've started here. Communication is the key, really.
Yeah. So with that, I guess we'll wrap it up with the last question, and this is just I really want to hone it into the listeners if there are people here listening for specific, like trying to find relatability within your relationship. This is for you. Like, what advice would you give to couples struggling with trust within the dynamic of their relationship? Go ahead. You go first. You want me to go first?
No, I don't.
Okay.
It's the number one thing. You have to be honest. And you have to be vulnerable and allow all your feelings to just blurt right out and lay out on the table. Good, bad, ugly. Even the dumb things you don't think are worth saying sometimes. it's all got to go out. You have to put it everything into it because if you don't put in, you won't get out. Period. And you
You have to validate each other too.
absolutely,
You have to validate where your partner is at, even if you don't necessarily understand. And that's been a really challenging
absolutely,
part for us. We both get in our ego like big time.
big
We're
time.
both very, very bold headed, big headed, hard
Hmm.
headed. I mean, it has
Absolutely.
been, our egos have been,
Yeah. I have a huge ego, and in conflict, it
but
just gets bigger.
really validation is, I think, is really important. Like, it's easy to say, we have to let people know, sorry about the clicking, we have to let people know, like, especially our partners and our loved ones in any, personal close relationship, how we feel, right? And
Absolutely.
however they receive it is not, it's, we can't take that personally. But
Hmm.
I disagree. I think you're always going to take it fucking personally when you love somebody. We're human. Of course
Right.
we're going to
It's
take it
real hard
personal.
not
And
to.
it's okay
Excuse me.
to take it personally and sit there and take that fucking sting for a minute and validate them in their feelings. Even if you didn't mean it, you don't have to say, well, that wasn't my intention. Fucking don't put in that wasn't, don't say that
Right.
wasn't my intention. Just say, I am so sorry.
Right.
And fucking leave it at that, right? Save the argument. If you have to readdress it later, do it later. Don't do it in the moment,
Right. And
right?
yeah. And listen, it's not something that you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this today, and every time there's a conflict, I'm just gonna go, hey,
Right.
la
Don't
la
shut
la,
down and then just
fluffy,
like, no,
fluffy.
yeah, that's not what I'm saying either. I don't
But
think that.
no, I don't. I didn't. Wasn't directing that you made it painted out like that. But I know that
But yeah, some
some people
people,
will
yeah,
take that
yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
yeah, okay, no.
No, you
Sometimes
got
you're
to stand up
not.
for
You can,
yourself too.
and sometimes you're not going to be able to go. All right,
Right.
let's circle back. Sometimes you're not going to be able to stop yourself
Yeah, let's
in
talk
those
about that.
moments, but you can eventually learn to do it more and more.
So we've had to literally walk away from each other and start texting.
Yep.
That's something that we've done. Like,
Text messages, it's a
um,
big help in our.
trust. Okay, so going back to trust, we're getting a little off, but like, trust. If I had to give couples struggling with trust advice, I would say this is what I would say. Acceptance is the thing that shifts the reality. It also is the bridge that leads to forgiveness, and forgiveness leads us back to love.
Absolutely.
Nothing can shift in your reality if you don't first accept that it's the fucking reality. Every time you try to change the reality and blame anything outside of you or even anything inside of you, when you blame or place power to anything else other than your own self, um, nothing's gonna shift in the reality
Hmm.
because you are your reality and your reality is you. So just really acceptance. If you cannot accept certain flaws or things about your partner, then they're probably not your person because learning to love ourselves unconditionally also means learning to love everybody else as is and unconditionally as well. And sometimes we're not going to be able to meet people where they're at, and that's okay. And it's all about whether or not that partnership is worth the fight because there's always going to be a fight. Nothing is all fucking good, I promise you. It's not. It's dual. It's so when the times get tough, you have to really be all in for yourself and for the relationship and for the partner, for your
Hmm.
for your significant other. And if all three of those things are not the truth, then it's probably not your ship and you need to exit that relationship
Or reevaluate,
or reevaluate or
you know,
however it looks. And
whatever.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying, oh fuck it, leave your partner.
Have the
I'm not
hard
saying that. Like,
have the hard conversation
but
with your
have the
partner.
hard
That's it.
conversations.
Like,
Be
because
vulnerable, be
if you get
raw.
right, if you get to that moment where you're like, oh, this is not my person, or maybe this isn't my person, but you haven't sat down with your person and been like, hey,
Right.
Here's the bloody truth of the mess that we've got here.
Right.
And
If
this
they
is
don't know, they
what,
can't change.
right, this is what I need. This is what I'm looking for. This is the way I need you to love me or show me. And and then you also have to listen, which, I'm learning how to listen. I'm still learning a lot of the languages that I need to learn, and Pam had to do that with me. She had to sit me down and say, listen, buddy,
How many years did it take, Eric, before you actually heard me? Be honest.
long years, 5. Like, like if you're talking about I'm talking about from the time that I actually was like, okay, when you were like,
How many, let me rephrase that question. How many years did it take you to really see that you were not changing certain things because you didn't see them as
oh,
problematic?
well, we've been together how long?
Almost 15 years.
Okay, almost 15 years. That's how long. And listen, I'm not effing kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. I mean, I see it, and I saw it, 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
But he kept his ego.
But my ego kept
It,
going,
it was
you're doing
so,
it.
his
You
ego.
got it, dude.
It wasn't until he
You're cool.
understood that his ego was simply the protector and it wasn't
Yep,
actually him. It wasn't until he truly saw that part
yep,
of himself as fucking kind of an entity. Like it is part of us.
yeah,
We're always going to have an ego. That is just our
yeah.
protector.
About
It's just our
about
protector.
2 years ago, that ego guy, he was, I was able to take him and put him next to me for the first time instead of letting him be the leader of the gang.
And I don't know. Another way to look at it is like the programs, right? The trauma, like all of the mechanisms of coping that he has had to learn throughout his life, and
Absolutely.
that have served him. He
Absolutely.
was bringing into our marriage. And even though I was trying to explain all of those things, I myself, because of my own trauma, my own abuse, my own whatever, and all of the things within the dynamic of our relationship, I also did not have the correct words or know how to say any of it until I was literally a fucking dragon spewing flames at his head. Like, are you gonna listen now? Like, for real.
Yeah,
When I tell you, we have seen the worst of each other,
absolutely.
and we still love each other.
Absolutely.
But it
Every day,
takes
more and more.
effort. It takes
When
showing
we said that,
up.
it's an ego.
Uh-huh. It takes, it takes doing the hard stuff. And if you're not willing to do that, then, you probably got to sit with yourself a little more. And that's fine too. Everybody's whatever. I'm just saying. So anyway, trust. Like I think I know we've come a long way as far as
Absolutely.
trust. And it's because of the yuck.
Right.
The
It's
yuck.
walking through the fire.
It's
It's jumping in the
it's
puddles.
all the
Like,
shit that we've seen in
right.
this marriage, in this relationship, in the past almost 15 years
Hmm.
that gives us the love, the wisdom, the courage to have the conversations, the fight to keep our passion, our relationship alive and show our kids healthy, even in the fucking messes, because the mess, what did Kyra say? The messes are the message, right? Like I love
Right.
that.
That's a great
The
quote.
like my another favorite of mine is the mess is the blessing, right? The mess is the blessing. So, again, it's very rare that an ultimate high moment really teaches us anything.
Right. When we're all happy and comfortable and everything's going smoothly, we're not thinking about nothing. We're just enjoying
Yeah.
that time and enjoy them. Like when they come, take them, but don't sit there forever because the comfort,
Mm.
it can lead to some
Really, I would call it,
it it
it made you kind of leave yourself.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was like the movie, the Adam Sandler movie with the remote, It's like every time he's doing something, he's just, oh, let
Oh
me
yeah,
fast
what is
forward
that
this
called?
part. What,
What is
click.
that? Click.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a fucked
He's
up.
like,
I
oh,
couldn't
let
even
me
watch that movie.
let me fast forward this, and then at the end of the day, here he is. his family's growing up, the kids don't like him, the wife's they're divorced,
Okay, you're getting
da
off
da da
subject.
da da.
Okay, anyway,
You're right.
ultimately, coming back to the subject, if you were listening, if you were here with us listening, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Eric, thank you. Thank you for this. I appreciate
Hmm.
it. This is our first kind of real,
Yeah,
you
in-depth
know,
kind of
well,
conversation.
and we had a subject that we were planning on talking about. So
Oh yeah, right.
thank you for being here through this evolution. Thank you for appreciating the mess, and yeah. Anything you want to say at the end, or no? We good?
No, I'm good. I mean, I appreciate y'all listening. Keep on listening.
Yes. Feel free
Subscribe,
to,
subscribe to
yep,
the page,
support
like
us
it,
however you
share it,
feel
whatever.
called, please and thank you. We
Yeah.
love you. And
If it helps you, hey, let us know.
yeah, yes,
Um,
feedback. Please, please
if
give
it
us
doesn't help
feedback.
you,
Tell us what you like, what you don't like.
right,
Keep it messy, keep it raw. We want the truth. Stay authentic. All right,
right.
for real. We all like that's our main thing. We
It's
want you to be
easy.
100%
It's
you.
real easy to be honest and truthful and authentic without being nasty and rude as
Yeah.
well.
Well, yeah.
So, but I'm not gonna tell you how to feel.
Anyway, thank you. We love you. Until next time, stay purposeful, stay present,
Oh, that was on me.
and keep shining that light. Thank you, and we love you. We'll
I'm
see you
quick
soon.
over here.
We'll talk to you soon. Oh my
So.
God, I gotta edit that out. Keep it messy.